Hello and welcome, everyone. I am Lauren, and welcome to Magical Travel Adventure. I am here to talk today all about Disney cruises because Disney just announced their 2024 summer sailings for Disney Cruise Line. Now, if you don't know, booking early and the earliest you can book with Disney Cruise Line is how you save money going on a Disney cruise. The best pricing is when it's first released. So it's really important that that is when you decide, like, hey, if I'm going to go on this Disney cruise, hey, I saw this, I want to book this right now. And even more special, how does Disney Cruise Line decide how you're going to book? It's never in just one day. It is going to be based on how many sailings you have done with Disney Cruise Line before. So there are different categories that I'll go over because I'm gonna tell you the dates for when you can book these Disney Cruise Line options. So Disney releases cruises in specific orders. So we have up through early 2024 right now. And as of the end of next week, we will have all of summer 2024. It's super important this year because for 2024 because there are going to be different options. And the newest biggest option is going to be Lighthouse Point, which is Disney's new private island. So right now Disney has a private island called Castaway Key. And that is an island that so many people love. They love going on Disney cruises. They say they have to go to Castaway Key. Cruises that go to Castaway Key twice in one cruise are so popular. And now we're going to be adding another private island, Lighthouse Point, in summer 2024. And some of those cruises will go to both private islands, Lighthouse Point and Castaway Key. So I have it on another screen, so I'm going to be looking back and forth, talking to you guys about summer 24 cruises. You can look them out if you're on my email list. Everyone got that. If you are doing other things, if you follow me in other places, I'm also doing more information on that too. So. I'm also trying to do the chat at the same time too. I'll do the best I can. All right. So if we're talking about summer 2024, there is an inaugural sailing that is going to take place, and it's not going to be for everyone. When the inaugural sailing for the Wish came out, it was super popular, and it was really hard for people to get on those inaugural sailings. So I first want to just say that if you're other things that happen, and so I'm going to do the Bahamas the last. If you're interested in summer cruises in 2024, they are still doing Mediterranean cruises. They are still doing Northern Europe cruises, and they're still doing Western Europe cruises. So all those things are still happening. They're adding some new places where they're going to be going. So you definitely want to look at those itineraries to see. One of the fun things about the European cruises is that some of them are longer. They can go up to, I think the longest night is an 11-night cruise, but those are great. There also are shorter cruises in Europe for 2024. So there's some in Belgium and Spain and France, and they're just these quick cruises. So that's kind of fun if you want to do a European trip and add on some of those quick 3 or 4 night cruises in Europe. Great options for you. We continue with British Isle cruises also and Western Europe cruises. So those cruises are very popular too, especially for people in Europe. So you're not just competing with people here in the United States, you're competing with everyone in the world who might go on a Disney cruise. The big thing everyone always wants to know about is that transatlantic cruise. So it's on the Dream this as usual, and it's going to be that transatlantic cruise, and it's a 13-night cruise. So you just want to make sure that you can be on a cruise ship for 13 days if that's one of the ones that you want. Alaskan cruises are going to continue with Disney. They go out of Vancouver, and they have 5, 7, and 9 night cruises. And those only take part in the summer because it gets cold, if you didn't know. So those sailings are going to be different depending on what kind of things that you want to see. I do specialize in Alaskan cruising, so if you have questions on that, please let me know so I can answer them. All right, so Caribbean and Bahama cruises. So Caribbean cruises are obviously still continuing. Okay. With the Eastern Western cruises are still going to be there, 5 and 6 and 7 night cruises with 1 10 Southern Caribbean, or there's 1 10 night option for different sailings. That's going to be on the Fantasy. That's the one that I want. It's all the islands that I love. I love the Southern Caribbean. It has that Antigua, St. Lucia, Tortola, and it's going to have Lighthouse Point and Castaway Key, and 3 days at sea. So like that sailing, the 10 night Southern Caribbean, is going to be another popular, because again, you're going to be getting Lighthouse Point and Castaway Key, which are those 2 private islands in Disney World, Lighthouse Point being the newest one. And people love their sea days on Disney Cruise Lines. They love those sea days, and you'll get 3 on that one. So that's kind of important. You are still going to have the Wish doing the 3 and 4 night cruises out of Port Canaveral. So those cruises will continue in the summer. They will go out of Port Canaveral, and it will be on the Wish. Those are going to continue for now in summer 2024. For 3 night cruises, and you're going to go to Lighthouse Point, that is now going to be out of Fort Lauderdale. So all cruises that are going to Lighthouse Point will be coming out of Fort Lauderdale. So that is one of the other big cruise ports. It's closer to Miami. So if you needed to fly into Miami, you could do that and go up to Fort Lauderdale, or just fly into Fort Lauderdale. And it's a really great place. You'll be able to get on, and it's going to be really awesome. I'm so excited for this. So it's going to be on the Magic. So there's going to be 3 night Lighthouse. There's a Lighthouse preview on June 6th. And then there's going to be 3 night Bahamian cruises that are going to be on the Magic coming from Fort Lauderdale. And then there's also going to be 4 night cruises on the Disney Magic coming out of Fort Lauderdale and in Port Canaveral on the Wish. There are also 5 night Bahamian cruises, which are by far like the favorite of mine when I'm looking at this. Again, it's going to be on the Magic, and these are going to be going to Castaway Key, Nassau, and Lighthouse Point, and a day at sea. So you're getting the 2 private islands, Lighthouse Point and Castaway Key, in a 5 night cruise. You're going to Nassau, and you're getting that sea day. This is going to be the cruise, I think, that is going to be the most popular. I think people are going to want that 5 night. They're going to want it on the Magic, and they're going to want to be able to go to both private islands. There is one Fantasy sailing, which I also think is going to be ultra popular because there's only one. And it is for July, and that is going to the Bahamas, and then it is going to make 2 stops at Castaway Key. So those are also going to be popular options. Now, when a cruise ship the new private island Lighthouse Point opens, it's going to be super popular. People are going to want to book it. One of the big bookings that is going to take place is going to be on June 8th. This is a sailing that I anticipate that if you're in the general booking, meaning that you have never booked with Disney Cruise Line before, you might not get an option to even pick this cruise, because I assume that this cruise will sell out before it's open for general booking. This is a 7-night sailing. It starts on June 8th. It makes 2 stops at Lighthouse Point, one at Nassau, one at Castaway Key, and then 2 sea days. And why that becomes so popular is because you get to go to Lighthouse Point twice. So you get to experience it twice, see what it's like, try different things, and you get to go to Castaway Key also, which is Disney's other private island. And that will be super important for people. There are going to be so many people who are going to want this cruise. So if this is important to you, maybe you can go with someone who's already been on a cruise. But you also, you really want to look at this. And I know that this is the question that I'm going to get is, what about pricing? How much does all this cost? So Disney does not release pricing before you can book it. So how it works is based on how you how you're able to, how many sailings you've done before. That will decide if you can do a sailing and when can you do the sailing. So platinum members can book next week on Monday, the 27th. And then platinum and gold can start sailing on Tuesday, get these cruises on Tuesday, March 28th. And Wednesday opens up to silver members, the 29th, and then Thursday, the 30th, opens up to all guests. And there's other people included in that too, but those are the main people. So with that being said, when you're trying to book these sailings, you don't always know the price. And the price changes hourly, daily, constantly when you're trying to book. And the reason is that when it's open, there's a set number that Disney has set for all of its pricing. But as rooms go, then the inventory, there's less inventory, so the cost goes up. So the later you are in the booking, in the sailing pickings, the less inventory there will be, the more expensive it will be. So no pricing can be really given ahead of time. So how would it work? Like, oh my gosh, Lauren, we want to book with you, but how is this ever going to work? So what happens is if you reach out to me this week or even on Monday, we'll have a quick call, talk about what it is that you want on your cruise so that I can get it all ready for you. And what will happen is we'll talk about like where you want to be on the ship, room choices, things like that. And I can hold a room for you for that day. So basically, like if you want that 7-night sailing, that first sailing that's going to have the 2 stops at Lighthouse Point, the new island, and Castaway Key, and Nassau, and those, days at sea, you're going to say, Lauren, this is what I want. And then we'll go through, where you want to be. And that's what I'm going to try for on that day. And then I can hold that room so I can give you pricing and you can let me know. Deposits are 20% of whatever the cost of the booking is. And you need to know everyone who is going into the room at that time. If you're unsure, I always say book the total amount of people you think will be going. And then if you need to exclude someone, as long as it's not the lead guest, you can do that also. So that was a lot of information. I am like so excited about these itineraries. And if you're wondering which one I might be trying to go for, it's that 5-night. Of course, for me, it's way too early. I can't even decide this early on, but we'll see what happens. So I will put my information below. So if you want to reach out to me and contact me, you can do that so that I can help you to get set for your Disney cruise. And yes, I am so excited. I hope you guys are too. This is so cool. So make sure you check out all of the stuff that you can, so you can see the different itineraries on Disney cruises, because this year, I can tell you, I don't think I've ever felt like this. These cruises are going to go fast. So you want to make sure that you are booking and you have that booking in ASAP, which I can help you with. All right, guys, I'll see you next time. Let me know if you have questions in the comments. Bye.